Welcome back to another edition of The Shift. This is Catherine Trotter, aka CT Speaks, your host, and we're back for another edition. And tonight we're going to be talking about access denied. Sometimes when you're going through a shift in your life, you're going to another level in your life, you're evolving, you're expanding yourself, you're expanding your business, you're expanding your bandwidth mentally, right? Sometimes you have to deny access to people, things, and situations that can dilute where you're trying to go, that can taint where you're trying to go, that can zap your energy with where you're trying to go. Who gets access to you must also be a contributor to your next season. I'm going to say that again. Who gets access to you must be a contributor for your next season. What is your next season? I need you to speak that out of your mouth right now. In my next season, I will do, you fill in the blank. I'm going to say that again. In my next season, I will do, and I want you to fill in the blank. It's time out for people just clinging on just for the ride. When we look at the word access, it means to enter into a place. It means to obtain something. It means to examine. It means to retrieve data on something. See, when people are around you, they are entering into your personal space to try to obtain something from you. They are examining your every move. They're looking at how you operate, how you conduct yourself. They're examining the connections that's in your circle. So sometimes people want to get in your circle to infiltrate into your network. They also want to get close to you to retrieve data. What type of data? On you, perhaps it's trade secrets to your business. But most importantly, in order for someone to get access, one must give them permission. And so we have to get to a place in our life as we're growing, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, that we cannot just be willy-nilly giving out permission to people, to spaces, to things, and giving access where people are not contributing to not only your now, but can contribute to your future. When we talk about access, it means that we're giving someone liberty to move freely in our life and enter into a space where no one else can enter. Because when you give someone access to your intimate most space, right, to your business, things that you're doing, they know personal information. Then they start to learn how to approach you, but sometimes it's not always in your best interest. We have to get to a place in our life that we're not giving access to those that don't need access. And a lot of times before we give someone access, they're going to oftentimes hang around you, try to size you up, try to feel out, who you are, what you're about. And then they will even try to use levels of communication to draw you in. But you have to kick in that level of wisdom to understand, is this person just trying to attach themselves to cling on to me and zap out everything of my supply source? You see, when you give someone access to you, you're giving them access to your supply source. The thing that allows you to have energy, the thing that keeps you moving, the thing that makes you vibrant, that slight edge. When you give someone access, I need you to think about this. You're giving them access to your slight edge. Who are you giving access to your slight edge? Who are you giving access to your slight edge? I'm going to say that again. Who are you giving access to your slight edge? Right? Because whoever you're giving access to your slight edge, are they going to know how to reciprocate? Are they going to pour back into you, or will they only take away? When we look at the word access, some other words popped up as I was doing my research. It says you're giving them right to. You're giving them the ability to. Another synonym said you're giving them admittance. So think about if somebody were to be admitted to a hospital, right? There's a series of process before someone is actually admitted to anything. If before we're admitted into college or anything that we want to gain access to, typically there is a process. If someone is in school and they wanted to be on a club or a committee, there's a process. There's so many clubs, professional development clubs that people want to join, but there's a process. Typically, there's an application, there's a vetting process, but sometimes we don't vet people that's in our space. We don't have them to go through an application process. Now, I'm not saying actually have them fill out a piece of paperwork, but what I am saying, there should be a process to gain access to you, because a lot of times with individuals that is gaining access to you, you didn't vet them. Did you vet the people that you gave access to? Did you vet the people that you gave access to? Because if you didn't vet them, a lot of times that's where your blinders are on and you don't see. You're not seeing because your blinders are on. Now, when we look at the word denied, it means to refuse. To refuse to grant permission to something or someone. Denied means someone requested something, but they was not given it. When we look at some synonyms of the word denied, it means to be refused, to be rejected, to be vetoed. We know in Congress there's a lot of stuff going on with vetoes. Another synonym of denied means suppressed. Another synonym means unacceptable. See, a lot of times we are allowing those things that are unacceptable to be in our space. And it's making it seem to the other person that you accept the unacceptable. Are you accepting the unacceptable? Are you just allowing individuals to flow through your life in and out with no barometers, with no checks and balances, right? With no level of discernment? Some things we see and we know that it's unacceptable, but we still turn away from that and pretend we don't see it, and we allow those individuals to remain in our life. But this whole segment, this whole show, this whole podcast is talking about the shift. And this particular episode is talking about how we need to shift who is in our inner circle. We need to shift who is in our space, and we have to get to the point where we're comfortable of denying access to individuals that is not building us up for where we're going. When we allow someone illegal access to us, we are denying ourselves the opportunity to enter into spaces that will nurture us. I'm going to say that again. When we allow someone illegal access to us, we are denying ourselves the opportunity to enter into spaces that will nurture us. There's a quote that I saw, and it says, you can forgive some people without welcoming them back into your life. Apology accepted, access denied. Again, it says you can forgive some people without welcoming them back into your life. A lot of times, guilt will allow people to say, well, you know, they didn't really mean it, so on and so forth. I will just let them come back into my inner circle. Let them come back into my space. They coming back into your space. They're messing up your mojo. They're messing up your flow. They're messing up your identity. They are diluting your identity. So I need you to think about when we talk about access denied, it's not about us just saying, I'm not trying to deal with someone anymore. It's deeper than that. When you give someone access, you grant them permission to your slight edge. And perhaps if you feel that you're not operating at your optimum level, perhaps those that you have in your inner circle or those that's around you are slowly detracting from what makes you you. Slowly detracting from what makes you unique, different, and set apart. You got to start examining who is in your inner space. While we're in the fourth quarter, you have to be reflective of this very thing before we cross into January. If there are some ties that have to be cut, cut it. Is it going to hurt? Yes. But some ties have to be severed. Now, I'm not saying do it in an ignorant way. You can be tactful in all things. But you also have to be mindful that if you continue to allow people, things, situations to gain access to you, that it's going to slowly creep away at your potency. It's going to slowly take away from your potency and the level in which you could be operating. And so I speak life to everyone right now that's struggling to tell someone, look, I can no longer give you access to me. We're not contributing one to another. I'm contributing you, but you're not contributing to me. It's one-sided, you see. So I cannot stay in this situation. Access denied. And so some may be saying, I don't even know how I'm going to have the conversation with that person. I don't know how I'm going to shift. I need to shift. I know I need to shift and have that conversation about how access is going to be denied, but I don't know how to have that conversation. I say, when you get in tune and tap into your purpose, your mission, and your why for your life, you will get to the place and you will start saying, you know what? Although I may miss that connection, relationship, what have you, I don't want to miss out on my purpose. I don't want to miss out on where I'm supposed to go. I don't want to miss out and be so distracted because of what I allowed to enter into my space. It's time to be conscious of who we let in our space. It's also a time of renewal, of a refreshing. We know the season is changing. And with the season is changing in the natural, that's how we also have to take assessment of our lives. This is technically what the fall season. We see the leaves falling all over the place. Even the tree is in a season of release. But see, the tree knows that come the next cycle of spring, it's going to bloom again with brand new leaves that are vibrant. And sometimes we are not going through the different seasons of our life. And in particular seasons, we're supposed to release, but opposed to releasing, we're holding on to. So when the springtime comes, when we're supposed to bloom and we're supposed to bear new fruit and bear new leaves, we're not doing it. We're not doing it because we never release. Therefore, we don't have any space to receive the new. We're already at max capacity and we have no more space to receive. No more space to grow. No more space to evolve. Because we got uncomfortable with being able to say to someone or a situation, I can no longer give you access to me. And you got to also think about it even in your own mindset. What are we giving access in our own personal downtime? What are we taking in? What are we listening to? What are we watching? Right? Because even what we listen to on our own and watch TV and I'm not saying don't watch TV, but whatever we watch, we're giving that element of time of whatever we're watching or listening to access to us. So you have to be very mindful the type of nutrients your mind needs, the type of nutrients your heart needs, the type of nutrients your spirit needs. Mind, body, soul, spirit. You have to feed every single part of you. And sometimes we're not balanced. We're malnutritious, right? We don't have a nutritionist a meal plan. A lot of times, people will talk about food itself, right? Just the food, but we're not balanced overall in the mindset, in our heart, in our spirit, in our overall health and well-being, not just only food, our mental capacity, right? So I need you to think about, what do you need to release? There's something so significant about releasing. It means letting go, being free from X, Y, Z, you fill in the blank, whatever you need to be free from. Access denied. And some of you just need to say that to yourself, access denied. And you know what you're saying, access denied too, of what no longer can be in your life. It's not going to be easy. I repeat, it's not going to be easy, because whatever you have already been given access to, it's not going to want to leave. And not only that, you've created a certain habit. Habit has formed based in your maneuvering with whom is in your inner circle. There's a certain culture, there's a certain habit. And it's like, okay, how do I rewind from this situation? How do I start over from this situation? How do I back out from this situation? It comes to the point when you have to come to terms with you and you. Yes, you and you have to come to terms with who you are, because once you come to terms with who you are, you will not, I repeat, you will not just accept anything from anybody in any old kind of way. So I speak life to your mind. I speak life to your heart. I speak life that you will wake up and realize just how powerful you are.